Okay, well, welcome to another video. So this is just a video where I'm going to go through a couple of the charts in the Tuesday macro technicals report. And so this is the subscription service. It's pure technical service, pure focus on sort of macro, high level, big trends across the key asset classes, and sometimes a little bit of in a more obscure market or asset class as well. But basically the scope is very much across markets. So for example, you look in today's this week's report, you've got crude oil, commodities, US treasuries, REITs, and Japanese equities, and it's probably a good sort of sampling of the kind of content that you're going to see in this. So and of course worth noting too that the point of this report, what we're trying to do here is to help you identify risks, opportunities, and really stay on top of the key global market trends. And so what I wanted to talk about in this video is number 2 on this list, so commodities. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is that, so bring up the chart over here. So this chart actually also appeared in the weekly macro themes report. Now that one's more of a multi-factor, more of a fundamental driven report. So, this report, we look at the technical setup. That report, it's much more of a multifaceted, multi-factor approach. In that report, we look at valuation, we look at economics, the cycle, monetary policy, all those sort of things. The scope is much broader, and the picture is more holistic, versus this is really just looking at what is price telling us, what is various sentiment and indicators telling us. Very much a focus on the indicators, very much objective. So, and I guess I highlight that because in today's one, this is basically a warning sign for the commodities situation. And I do have a bit of a bullish bias still on commodities, and I can talk about the macro reasons behind that and all the rest of it. But the point of bringing in stuff like this is that it's completely objective, and it's there for everyone to see, and it will help challenge your views. If you've got some preconceived notions which you think are well-founded, and they may be well-founded, but when you bring some objective information in like this, it can really help to test your views and maybe even identify some important opportunities or risks. And so this chart here, we show commodity breadth. So you've seen 200-day moving average breadth for the stock market, and what that is the number of or the proportion of components that are trading above their 200-day moving average. And I've done the same thing. I've calculated this here with my own data for commodities. So this is looking across the 20 different commodities that comprise the GSCI Light Energy Index. That's quite a broad commodity index. So most people, when they think of commodities as an asset class, they think of this index. And so what we're seeing here is a warning sign, and it comes in the form of what we call bearish breadth divergence. So what that is when you have the price making higher highs. So you can see there, you had that high and then a bit of a pullback and then another high against lower highs on the breadth indicator. And now you can also get breadth divergence, by the way, if you have price going up and breadth pulling back. It doesn't necessarily have to be in this format, but this is how it's showing up at the moment. And these can actually be quite a powerful signal, particularly at turning points. Oftentimes that's where you end up finding them. You can kind of see it there. There was bullish breadth divergence, which really helped take the bottom in 2016. You can see it more clearly on the 50-day moving average breadth chart, which is the same approach. So you can see back then, you had that low, and then bam, another drive lower, an even lower low at the same time. You had that quite washout and breadth there, and then you saw a higher low in the breadth, which helped to send that signal that was actually the market bottom and a turning point. And it's actually put in some pretty decent solid returns, over 20% since the bottom. And so, it is actually quite a, it can be quite a powerful signal. As I always say, signals are fallible, so it could be a false signal, but I wanted to flag it, and particularly actually flag it on this video, send it a bit wider, because, this is something that I thought is worth highlighting. And you can also see, you can sort of kind of see that actually 50-day moving average brief started rolling over before price had actually started to roll over, so it's another pretty important component of that all. And then finally, also just point out here, those lines on the chart, that's a what we call an ascending triangle. We've got a little tentative poke above the top line there, which initially had looked like it might have been a upside breakout of that pattern, but so far that is not looking like the case, and the risk is that it actually goes ahead and breaks down and makes a downside breakout, which is completely possible for a pattern like that, and that would be another sort of another additional warning sign on top of what we've got here. So and coming back to the overall technical view, so short term you have to be at least short term bearish in the context of those kind of signals. Certainly makes you want to act with a bit of caution, and exactly watch for a downside break of that ascending triangle to confirm that kind of signal. And of course, I always say outside of the scope of the Tuesday macro technicals report, but when you have a technical setup, what you also want to try and look for or identify is a fundamental catalyst. Can be a bit difficult because price, the fundamental, the nature of price and versus fundamentals is that price moves faster than fundamentals. So there might be a fundamental catalyst that shows its head a couple of months from now, but price is probably already headed into that direction before it gets known by everyone. So I'll leave it there, and if you want to have a look at this report, we are accepting subscriptions for this report now, so just jump onto the website. I'll put the link in the information section. But if you had any comments, questions, complaints about this kind of chart, do make sure that you pop them in the comment section below, and also be sure to subscribe to the channel.